In today's economy, more people than ever are looking to buy and sell businesses. But how do you do it? Welcome to the Deal Board, presented by Transworld Business Advisors. Straight talk about real deals and real people. Listen to stories, interviews, and expert advice to help your business sale, merger, or acquisition process. Now, here are your business exit experts, Andy and JT.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to a brand new year. Happy New Year.
Incredible. 2026, here we come.
We are so looking forward to that. And you know what the new year brings us?
Every single year.
Every single year we've done this.
We go goal getting.
Yes. Goal getting, because it's not goal setting.
Nope. Anybody can set them. We want you to get them. There's a difference.
Right. So you've covered the 8 W's.
We started the first episode we did, which is several years ago now, the entire 8 W's of goal getting.
Right.
And then over the course of the last few years, we've taken one of the W's and kind of do a deep dive in that.
Yeah.
But this year, we're going to do it differently. This year, we're going to do the 8 W's of goal getting, again, geared towards the business buyer. So you're a business buyer and you want to know how to get from, hey, I'm working for someone else to now I own my own business. You want to tune into this episode.
Yeah, I think it's really important for buyers. It's a very busy time out there for buyers. It's a tough marketplace for buyers. And this will really help round out what you need to do to move forward.
Yeah. And we're going to have a whole separate episode later on about, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Buyer, do this.
Right.
Because there's a lot of buyer education going on out there. And as folks that are working with hundreds, if not thousands of buyers and sellers every single year, you want to get it straight from the pros.
Yes. People who are actually doing deals.
Doing deals. So
right.
This episode is the 8 W's of goal getting for the business buyer.
Excellent. And you know what else we have?
A listing of the week.
And a deal of the week. Let's get to it.
Transworld Business Advisors is the world's largest business brokerage and mergers and acquisitions firm with over 1,000 brokers and nearly 250 offices worldwide. Transworld's team handles thousands of business sales every year. To be connected with a qualified business broker or learn more about the buying and selling process, visit tworld.com or call 800-205-7605.
All right, JT here at Transworld Business Advisors and the Deal Board podcast. And our episode today is focused on you as a business buyer. So this is entrepreneurship through acquisition. And this particularly is the 8 W's of goal getting as a business buyer. How do you get from where you are now as an independent person, maybe working for somebody else? You're hearing all the different rhetoric online about, hey, you know, there's a lot of wealth that's being transferred over the course of the next 10 years, trillions of dollars in businesses, baby boomers are retiring, and you're saying, how do I get a piece of that puzzle? How do I get a piece of that pie? Well, what we're going to do today in a very short edited version of this is dumb down the 8 W's of goal getting, the things that you can do to get from where you are now as not a business owner to becoming a business owner, becoming an entrepreneur, and being able to set yourself up for success in the future. So if you want to get more about the 8 W's, you can go back to previous episodes of the Deal Board and hear about goal getting in and of its all entirety. But today we're focusing on you as the business buyer. So the first thing I would say to you is this: entrepreneurship through acquisition is a great way to go. You can also buy a brand new business. You could do a startup. Many people do. Our nation is built on people who have grasp the hold of capitalism by starting with a brilliant idea, bootstrapping a business and growing from there. There's nothing wrong with that. But the trend today seems to be for people to say, I'm going to go chase buying a business that's already existing, make my money that way. Perfectly fine. You could also look at buying a franchise business, either an established brand or a new startup franchise where you're buying a system, you're buying marketing and training and support and vendor relationships and buying power and all those different things. Whatever route you choose to take, there's still the 8 W's that are going to impact how you get from where you are to where you want to be. So let me give you the 8 W's real quick in a very simple form. Step number 1 is you need to write out your goal. And if your goal is, I want to be an entrepreneur, we're going to go through these 8 different steps. And you're going to see that one of those 8 W's is, well, when do you want to be an entrepreneur by? Because the last thing you want to do is start out on this journey and then get going into the process, dealing with buyers or sellers of businesses and brokers or websites, et cetera, and getting people engaged with you and then backing out of it. There's nothing more frustrating than dealing with buyers who aren't educated or aren't committing to seeing this thing go through all the way. So the first thing you should do is write down, I want to be a business owner by, and when you write it, you should probably write something like this. I own fill in the blank. I own a auto repair business. I own an HVAC company. I own, just fill in the blank, whatever it needs to be. You start with I, present positive tense verb, and then fill in the blank of what type of business you want to own. So that's number one. Number two, ask yourself this question. Why do you want to own a business? Like, is it just because it's the hot thing today? Or do you see it as a ticket for building a financial empire for yourself? Again, there's a lot online that says, hey, you could buy these cash flowing businesses and you only have to work 10 hours a week and make $700,000, $800,000 a year. I'm sure there are people that are doing that. That's probably true. But my experience over the last several years, 10 years of doing this, 40 years in franchising businesses, is that it's not quite that simple. There is work that's going to need to be done. Yes, you could buy a business that's got cash flow and has a team in place, and you might only have to touch it a little bit here and there. But most of the businesses in America today are going to require you putting in some time, effort, and energy to get there. So you need to define the why. Why do I want to own a business? In one or two sentences, what's the real motivation for you doing this? And when you put your first answer down, ask yourself this question. Well, why is that important to me? I want to own a business because it's the now thing to do. Okay, well, why is that important to you? Well, because I want to be like my friends. Well, why do you want to be like your friends? Well, because I want the financial freedom. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Why do you want the financial freedom? Because I don't want my kids to have to go through what I went through. Now you're getting somewhere. Dig deeper to really uncover what the true why is. Number three, where? Where are the obstacles going to be that are going to prevent you from being able to finish this thing, seeing it all the way through and getting across the finish line? Because there are going to be obstacles that are going to come along. Is it going to be with financing? Do you not have your tax records in order? Have you not filed your taxes from a year or 2 years ago? Because that's going to be a problem when you go to the bank to get a loan. Are you going to be able, do you have enough credit, the right credit so that you can apply for a loan, or that when you submit your application to the landlord and they do a credit check and a background check, are they going to find anything on there that's going to make them say, oh, I'm not really sure if I want to lease this space to you if that's part of this business purchase process? Where are the obstacles going to come in? Identify them now, come up with a game plan for how you're going to get through those obstacles long before you hit them. That's pretty important to do. Number four, what things are you going to have to learn to do that you don't already know how to do to be able to get this thing completed? So what education are you going to need? You're going to have to learn about financing. You're going to have to learn about seller finance. You're going to have to learn how to read financial statements. You're going to have to hire an attorney. You're going to have an accountant on your team. You're going to have to learn how to make an offer, how to negotiate through the offer. There's a lot of moving parts here. Some people look at it like, it's just like buying a house. It's not like buying a house. There are similarities, but when you buy a house, you buy a box. When you buy a business, you buy everything that's in the box. The people, the equipment, the goodwill, the brand, the equity, all of those things have a certain value, and there's lots of moving parts that you're going to need somebody to help you with, which takes us to number five, and that is who. Who do you need on your side to help you get that done? When we deal with sellers of businesses, we talk about the deal team. That includes somebody like myself, a business intermediary, an advisor, a business broker. And it's going to be an attorney who's going to be involved in drawing up all the documents. It's going to be an accountant who's going to be making sure that the tax liabilities and the things that need to be taken care of for the seller when they get this lump sum of money, when they sell the business. For you as a buyer, you're going to need an accountant to help you understand how you should be allocating the purchase price of the business. Yeah, that's something most people don't think about, but the IRS is going to require that you do that and that you and the seller do it the same way. So you need somebody in between all of these moving parts. You're going to need a lender. You're probably going to have a landlord, et cetera, et cetera. There's a complete deal team that you're going to need to assemble. And I would say to you, probably a little biased, yes, you should start with a business advisor and an intermediary who knows the landscape and how to walk through this with you. Number six is the way. Making a list of all of the steps that you're going to have to take to get from I am not an entrepreneur to I am now an entrepreneur. So how do I get from not to now? And that means you're going to have to map out all of the different things, kind of like breaking down a list, like where am I going to research that particular business that I'm looking for? I'm going to build a deal box of what my ideal business looks like. I'm going to apply for funding. I'm going to have to meet with the seller. I'm going to have to do an offer, et cetera. Like there's all these steps that you're going to have to go through. This is not for the faint of heart. This is like having another full-time job. And especially most of the buyers we deal with today, they're currently working for someone else, looking for their freedom in entrepreneurship, but they don't have the time necessary to dedicate to walking through those steps as they're on the search. So you might want to make a list of all the different tasks that you're going to have to go through, put them in an order that makes sense, a logical order. Again, a business advisor could help you do that. Number 7, when do you want to do it by? That's right. What's your goal? Are you looking to be a business owner in a week, in a month, in 6 months, in a year? You're going to need to know that up front, and you're going to need to communicate that to the people that you are working with because they need to know what your timeline is. Timelines are essential in helping get the deal across the line. If you're dealing with a lender, how much time do you have from the time that you start until you get the lending approved, gone through underwriting, and then be able to close? Most people today working with the SBA, they're looking at anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks. That's 2 months, maybe 2.5, depending on holidays, et cetera, before the funding can even happen. And that's once you've found the business, had an offer accepted by the seller, and we're working towards the closing. So start off with the when, and then we can work backwards on the steps that you need to take to get from, hey, I'm interested, to I'm actually now a business owner. And then number 8 is going to be do that work. And man, there is a lot of work. That should be a big W, a big O, a big R, a big K, because this is hard. This is not for the faint of heart. As I said earlier, it's not you just wake up one day and say, I'm going to be a business owner. No, it's going to take a lot of time, effort, and energy on your part, on the part of the broker, on the part of the seller, on the part of the lender, on the part of the attorney, on the part of the accountant, on the part of the landlord. There's a lot of people involved in helping you get from not to now. So if you're a business buyer and you want the kind of help it's going to take to get you and get your deal across the line, you should contact someone at the Transworld Business Advisors office in your local area. We're certainly able to help you get from not to now. I'm JT, and this is the Deal Board.
Hey, Andy, do you know what time it is?
What time?
It's time for Deal of the Week.
Ring the bell.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is David Greeley, and I am the owner and managing broker for Transworld Business Advisors of Lake Lanier, here located here in North Georgia. And I'm proud to say that we just sold a photography business that we had been working with for quite a while. I had gotten a call back in January of 2020 from a woman who identified me from the Georgia Business Brokers Association publications and said that I had the most honest face. So she wanted to talk to me about selling their business. And so I went there the next day, met with her and her son, who actually was the owner. And he had been in the business since he was a boy. He grew up in the business with his father being a photographer. And they moved from Syracuse, New York, down to Georgia ultimately. And he set up his location in Winder, Georgia. I actually had him do some headshots for me, and he did a very nice job. But also, we tried listing his business in 2020, about 2 weeks before COVID, and it was quite a challenge back then with issues with labor and such like that. So we took it off the market after a couple of years of advertising, and never gave up on it. We just kept an eye out for the right fit. And that's really what this business is about, is finding the right fit. We needed somebody with the talent and capabilities to do what he did. So we call that a needle in the haystack. And this was truly one that was very difficult to fill. But we did that. I found somebody in June of this year. We went under contract again. And we sold the business, and it's a very good relationship that's been established. Good synergy is what we're looking for, and the seller and the buyer are very excited. They're already working together, and it's a great relationship. So we're pretty pleased about it. Probably one of the best lessons I learned from this one is don't give up. Despite the fact that you have a 12-month agreement or whatever, we put an automatic extension in there. And if the seller doesn't have a problem with doing so, we go ahead and extend it for another 6 months. But in some cases, we'll re-sign with them for another year. So not every deal sells in 9.4 months. Some do sooner and some do a lot later. But don't give up on them. And we pride ourselves in doing a good job with this one, and we have very happy seller and very happy buyer for sure. So you're welcome to reach out to us here in Lake Lanier. My number is 770-225-2910. My extension is 701, and we've been here for about 7 years now. And we're pretty good at what we do. We work with a lot of local Transworld offices here in the North Georgia region, and we're happy to help anybody that's looking for a deal on a business or to sell something. So we're happy to talk to you. Give us a call. Thank you.
Hey, JT, do you know what time it is?
Money time?
Almost. It's time for listing of the week.
Hi, I'm JT Hart, President and CEO of Transworld Business Advisors right here in Greater Cincinnati in Northern Kentucky. And we have a really solid, dependable, and built-to-last business that, with over 50 years of success, has stood the test of time by earning its relationship and reputation for quality craftsmanship and exceptional service. This is an amazing opportunity in the discount, carpet, tile, and flooring business. The business does include real estate, which includes a fully equipped showroom, warehouse, and office space that make operations efficient and highly profitable. In addition, owning this property adds stability, flexibility, and long-term investment value for your portfolio. The growth potential is there, and the next owner can expand into high-end custom design, commercial contracting, or eco-flooring lines that are very popular. With an established customer base and trusted vendor relationships, you can hit the ground running from day one. Again, I'm JT Hart with Transworld Business Advisors of Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky. And if you're looking for a business with a legacy you can build on, this is it. Reach out to our team today to learn more.
Thanks for tuning in to the show today. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends on social media. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcasting app. If you have questions, would like to appear, or have suggestions for topics for the show, get in contact with us through our website, thedealboardpodcast.com.